Welcome back to another episode of the Nonsensical Knowledge Podcast. It's your guys, Irv and Edwin. We are back after a huge episode last night when we tapped into the Jake Barber retired U.S. Air Force helicopter pilot that blew the whistle on the egg-shaped UFO. And we followed that episode last night, and we really didn't have a lot of time to unpack everything that was said in that interview. So we're back tonight to chop that up and to do and to talk about various other things. Irv, what's good, bro?
Well, shaking, man. Yeah, that was a real dope episode last night. A lot of information came out in that. It'll be nice to touch on that stuff and unpack it, man. It's an exciting time every day.
It really is. And like just going through it last night, we had so many issues getting the live stream up and then, getting kicked, all that bullshit, that we really didn't have time to like break down every section of that interview, right? Because it kind of went super fast. They condensed a lot of information into that hour episode. And I went back today and I had to keep stopping the video, man, because there was so much that they were saying that like could easily be just fly under the radar. Oh, we're up to 33 already. Shout out to everybody tapping in. We got 37 on X alone right this second. I'm going to share it on the book for us so that way we can get some action.
Get some heads in here.
Get some action on the book. So, but in any event, last night, News Nation ran an exclusive interview with a retired U.S. Air Force Navy pilot, pilot. He was a helicopter pilot that was directly involved in the crash retrieval of unidentified aerial phenomena. We've seen in the interview, right? We saw some video footage, right? Mm-hmm. And what's interesting about the entire thing is like the more I dove into it today, the more I realized that this guy, Jake Barber, isn't just a regular dude. So, according to him, he spent 30 years in the U.S. government and in various intelligence agencies, right? So that's like private contractor shit. That's like, he was actually only in the Air Force for a short period of time. And then homeboy was left the Air Force to go and be a private contractor out at a place that they called the Range. Now, as we spoke about in one of the other episodes, is that the other Green Beret kept mentioning the Range, right? Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure they're talking about like Area 51.
So the Range is, I believe it's Area 51 as well.
Well, the only reason that I'm kind of coming to that conclusion is because later on in the interview, when they talk about the Panasonic Tough books, right, which is also a super interesting aspect of this conversation, but he said the High Sierras, right? Now, to me, that sounds like the Sierra Nevadas, which is in that area, right? So when I drove from LA to Area 51 in Rachel, Nevada, you have to, you know what I mean? You drive through the Sierra Mountains. So to me, that almost kind of puts a location on where they were doing this work without him having to say it. Excuse me. But yeah, homeboy was an aerospace mechanic as well. So that's not like something that I really realized last night, was that he was more of a mechanic than anything. You know what I mean? He would like fly on presidential support missions. He would do he was also, what was there, accepted into the combat control, which was like the Air Force's elite special ops type shit. So this homeboy had a meteoric rise in the military. He went from like literally nobody to somebody really quick.
He over the 30-year career.
Yep. Yeah, so he said 10 years he knew that what he had saw was an anomalous non-human intelligence. He said he's held it down for 10 years, and it wasn't until the private contractors started coming at him that he was like, oh, okay, now we're dealing with some shit that we might not be able to really put Pandora back in its box. But he was also a helicopter pilot, a free fall parachutist. He was an expert marksman, and he also received a NATO top secret security clearance. So a lot of this to me is like homie was in the thick of shit.
He was definitely connected and making shit happen. What do you think about did you get any more out of the psionics and
Oh yeah, so yeah, man, again, this is shit like I literally spent earlier, man, going through this shit and just taking notes, because I got like 5 pages of fucking notes, bro.
nice.
But the psionic component aspect to it was a few gems that he had dropped is that like whatever was controlling the egg was what connected to him telepathically. So he doesn't feel like it was necessarily the egg, but something that was controlling the egg. Right? And now he says, not only that, but this was an interesting aspect to me as well, is that they summoned these psionic people who are predisposed with telepathic abilities. They summoned these aircraft, like they summoned these UAPs. So somebody was out there meditating, doing whatever they do to summon these things, and quite literally got this thing to come in. It landed and they snatched it up.
That's so crazy, man. It's like they're hijacking.
I swear I have that written down, that same exact word written down.
What, hijacking? Yeah, they're still in tech that don't belong to us. Which is also is also a dangerous avenue. I don't know. They don't seem to be afraid of them as far as repercussions for taking them. Do you think they were just being dropped off as gifts? I don't think that super advanced tech civilizations just like, they can tap into it unless they don't expect our mental to be there to connect with it neither.
Yeah, it could be a number of those things. To me, like later on in the interview, Jake Barber states that he, after years of military service, whatever, he does an independent operation, right? And essentially he has his own psionic dude that's, capable of doing these things, right? In his exact words, the psionic guy tapped in with a UAP, connected with it, but then was flying it back to Earth. So I missed that last night, right? Because again, there's so much going on. It's so much stimulation. It's almost overload. This dude said one of his guys, bro, was flying the craft back into them.
Like flying it
The psionic guy
telepathically. Yeah.
telepathically connected to the UAP and was bringing it in to them. So, but in the midst of that, apparently like 4 minutes in or something like that, they said another disc-shaped UAP came out and almost tried to intercept the egg-shaped one that they were dealing with. And when the dude disconnected, allegedly the egg fell out of the sky. So there's a number of things here. So again, are we hijacking some sort of alien tech or interdimensional tech, conscious tech? Because we have to take a step back here for a second. This dude also said that when he got close to the pick site, like when they were like, all right, yo, go pick this thing up. He said he was 20 miles away when this overwhelming feeling of emotion took over him. Like this, something possessed him, something of a feminine energy, something like of a godlike experience in a sense. He was 20 miles away from the thing and felt that. And then when he picked it up, he was crying like a baby.
It's just so strange, man. It's oh man. You think that part of it could be manifesting it out of the ether? Like each individual can manifest their own egg in a sense. Like it belongs to him. Like, because I'm just thinking like if it's non-human intelligence, they're not gonna want their shit being dropped like that or controlled like that. So there'd be some type of block from letting us do that. Or you could just be of the right mindset of peace and love, and the shit just comes to you.
Yeah, I mean, it could be any one of those things. One thing that struck me when you said it is like manifesting it out of the ether. So if we go with like almost like a simulation theory type matrix hologram type situation, just for shits and giggles, you have to visualize it. It's almost like Schrodinger's cat. You know what I mean? Is the cat in the box and is it alive or dead? You're not gonna. I guess you can't perceive it until you're into that frequency.
Mm.
So you almost have to, again, tune into a higher frequency. They're talking about it similar to meditation. So it's not exactly meditation, but people are going out there and doing this with the CE5 app, doing this shit with the Skywatcher stuff, and it are quite literally summoning UAPs, bro.
So yeah, I think what's my guy? C5.
Stephen Greer.
Okay, yeah, Stephen Greer is like basically cats were saying like, oh, that's bullshit. Well, it's coming back around that yes, you can do that. And the Bledsoes, you should try to find a video of them summoning the orbs too. I mean, they do it like every single night, just on
All
live.
the time, yeah.
And they've been calling it a female presence of light and love. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to figure out like, is there certain people that can do it? They're saying everyone can do it, but I guess you got to meditate and whatever. I mean,
so again, I think it's about the frequency, because again, we all vibrate at a certain frequency where like our normal vibrating frequency is this. This is what we're doing. You know what I mean? We have to elevate past what we normally are, right? So I would imagine like a fucking Buddhist monk could totally do this with no problem.
Easy.
So we'll see. Like, I mean, again, I want to get out there and try it.
Yeah, I definitely want to try it.
Because I feel like it would be a weird experience, but we would have to have somebody there that's a skeptic.
Totally.
You know?
Well,
Just because if it really happens, bro, you know what I mean? We at least have somebody that's like, yo, you're full of shit, or like, no, I saw, you know. But it really does push the realms of the possibilities now. Psychic abilities, they were calling them extra temporal abilities. AKA psychic powers. You know what I mean? But getting back to it, they invited this thing to land. Someone invited this thing to land. Now, again, if you invited it to land and then seized it, what kind of action is that we're taking? Is that really love and light? And let's be 100% clear here. I want to separate the differences. The emotions and the shit that he was feeling with that experience came from the 8-gon. That didn't come from the egg.
The egg shape, yeah.
So just for everybody watching, listening, whatever, this wasn't the egg-shaped UAP. This was what he called an 8-gon, which he described as a flying saucer with 8, what do you say it was? It was 8 delineated sections looking down on it from above. So it's interesting. It's you know, he said that the government was exploring the idea that UAP could be summoned, communicated with, controlled, and be persuaded to land. So they're actively trying to communicate, get them to land, and control them.
Yeah, that's crazy shit. Real crazy shit. So you could be, I mean, if you had an army of people that can do this shit, right? You could just roll them out to a city and summon them shits, and you got a UFO frenzy going on.
Well, right. You got a UFO frenzy, or like again, if the 8-gon is like love and light and all of this other shit, and it's a feminine divine energy or whatever, it to me, it would have to be like the consciousness, you know, like, or the God in a, I guess, classical sense, you know. And then what's something like that? What's a God entity doing flying around eggs and 8-gons?
What are you doing? Just, you know, it's just you know, it piqued my interest. It's got me like, what the fuck is going on in the skies? But it's definitely more information that ties in everything that we've been hearing over the years. You know, so it's bringing it. Yes, it wasn't a smoking gun like the video or anything, but the information, it's just putting more and more pieces together. Hopefully make some more people comfortable to come forward too. There's a lot of them out there.
For sure. And I think with every whistleblower that does come out, it gives everybody else the courage to step forward, because once you have an army of whistleblowers, man, And especially guys like this dude and his team that were actually seriously injured in this shit, right? So like they had some serious radiation poisoning. They were hospitalized for weeks. Homeboy said his hair and his skin was just lopping off. Like it wasn't like he said like some severe sunburn shit. Especially with guys like that, it's like you guys got to fight for your shit. You know, you're just collecting a disabilities check. You can't ever talk about it. What was interesting too is the guy they talked about with the case of the Rendlesham Forest incident. So for anybody that doesn't know, years ago, Rendlesham Forest, which is in England, there was an alleged UFO that had landed there, and a bunch of guys got exposed to it, touched it, whatever. That was one of the first cases where they had saw almost hieroglyphic characters on the craft. And but this dude, the guy that sued the US government, they classified all of his medical records. So he couldn't get help, he couldn't do anything, he could just collect the check. He actually sued the US government and won. But there's hundreds of them out there, thousands probably.
Yeah, that are damaged and sick from it.
Yeah.
The radiation is a wild component of it, especially with them being so interested in nuclear facilities and nuclear subs and things of that nature. I always wonder that connection. Like, are they recharging their shit? Do they need that energy in a sense? Are they using it? Because it's clearly nuclear radiation that these experiencers are feeling the effects from. So what's their interest in it?
Yeah. Well, again, what's going on here? Because I feel like what you were just saying a minute ago about this being like kind of connecting everything. This was actually a big piece of the puzzle because it's verifying the telepathy, it's verifying all of this other shit. The other thing too is those mystery boxes, right? So this is how dude actually got injured is him and his team were hired or assigned, contracted, whatever you want to call it, to go and pick up what's called a mystery box. And it's just this big ass box. Nobody knows what's in it. They are authorized to use lethal force if somebody tries to fuck with it. And they all got sick shortly thereafter. So it's weird to me because in his words, he said, well, we don't really feel like our superiors knew that it was radiation because they have protocols for that. So if it was like radiation, they would have said, yo, strap up the hazmat suits, the air filters, the shit, everything you need to do to deal with radiation. They didn't do this. He said that they felt like something got turned on in the box on accident.
Huh.
That was his exact words.
What do you think the superiors wouldn't know? Or do you think I don't know, man. I mean, they have a terrible history with doing shit that they know is harmful to, their own people.
So one thing that struck me that he said is that they were private contractors, Irv. So it gave those companies that contracted them plausible deniability.
Yeah, we don't know what that shit is.
We have no idea what that is. You're just contracted to move it. Go pick it up from the pickup location, bring it to this secure location, drop it off, no questions asked, keep it moving. And he said it was actually that plausible deniability shit came in big time when he was talking about they were like trying to set them up, him and his team up, because they would send them out on these missions, recovery missions. They'd get their intel, boom, go hit it. Eventually, it got to a point after the Tough Book thing, which we'll get into in a second, that what happened is they had been sent to a deployment, but the high value target was already gone, and it looked like there had been a firefight there. So somebody was fighting. There was a gunfight over these Panasonic fucking Tough Books. So, but again, contractors. So you got a private army over here, private army over here. Who's paying more?
Yeah. Go get me that book.
Go give me that book. But to get into the Panasonic Tough Books, that's another whole odd situation, man. So that's what they were originally hired for, was to go and locate these Panasonic Tough Books. They said their first two they found in the high Sierras, no hard drives. They keep looking, they get some new intel, blah, 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 blah. They end up finding all of the hard drives in a high altitude lake in a secure, dry box 25 feet under the water in this high altitude lake. So somebody's going through some
lake.
See, it's tough, bro, because we would have it's hard to say. I feel like, again, Sierra Nevadas, somewhere over there's a high altitude lake. We could probably Google it, but I'm not entirely sure, exactly what lake it would be. It could have been Lake Titty fucking Caca for all we know. But it's super intriguing because what is on these Tough Books? Why are the hard drives so valuable? Why are people killing each other over them? So, and fucking Panasonic is just making Tough Books for the military to be thrown in the fucking... Because it doesn't make sense, right? Because if they had data, like he suggests, if they had data that was like sensor data for UAP recovery programs, who would just leave a Tough Book somewhere in the fucking high Sierra Mountains? It's just there.
Just chilling out.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
What does the chat think? What do you guys think out there? We got 112 on X, 2 on Facebook, 1 on Twitch, 0 on YouTube right now. Instagram, I fucking did it again. Sorry, IG. But we're live on IG now.
All right.
So, again, man. So what do you think? What do you think could be happening here? Because now that we're unpacking a lot of this information, what do you think is going on with this particular situation?
With this one? As far as like the retrievals and all that, or just no, I think we're so far removed from that shit. I think it could be definitely government reverse engineered shit at this point out there. It seems like it's almost like a war game with this technology now. Like they're on the range. A lot of weapons specialists, like Green Berets, Navy SEALs types. Always. It's like they're testing and training. Like go pick this go pick up. We got a UAP down. Go pick it up. But you're on a range, like, are you bringing them down on the range? Like, how are they getting there? That's why I just feel like it's more of a controlled environment on these ones, opposed to, like, people see lights. Like, there was one in DC, like maybe like October. Like, people saw lights and they thought a vehicle crashed. Like, some of those crash retrievals where they're sending in like a specialist Navy SEALs type team to go capture some shit is more like real world, I think.
That sounds legit. It kind of struck me, like, and I said this before we kind of went live, was that the more that I researched this dude Jake Barber, the more it almost felt psyopish to me. I don't want to take the information away. You know what I mean? Because it's so big in nature. But this dude was involved and is still involved with intelligence. So maybe it does kind of fit your real world narrative where it's like, no, maybe they're just letting us in on some of the shit, or at least letting us know we have the capabilities to go and perform these tasks. We can go scoop one of these things up. I don't know. It's tough because, again, it's the psychic abilities, the transmedium travel. Like, that's a big deal to me too, because if this dude's talking about these objects are just flying through the mountains, or just, you're not coming out of a hole in the ground. You're coming out of the ground.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, no, that's totally major, man. They're definitely hairy, you know what I mean? Yeah, just his background, like what they're doing, like, and then even on the psychic shit, like when they select these people, they're doing those. They're like, oh, here's this test or whatever, or can you tell me what's in this next room over there? You know what I mean? Like, they handpick a lot of these people because of their skills, in their psychic abilities. Like, even if you don't know that you have them, they know at this point with, 70 plus years of studying this phenomenon of what works,
And it's only gotten better.
Only gotten better.
So since they started, and let's just say for shits and giggles that they started with Project Stargate, which I believe it probably started long before that. This is years, and like you said, research upon research upon research. It's only going to get better. And now one of the key things that Homeboy had said was the government has a team of psionic people, right? So they send these psionics out, they rope them in, and then they scoop them up. So, there's people capable of doing it. I think everybody can do it. I just think, again, you got to get past the work shit. You got to get past the everyday hustle bustle, the rat race. You got to be able to sit back. How much time do you have to meditate, Irv?
Very little.
Very little. So it's like you really have to make time, and you can't just do it once, right? You can't just do it once. It's got to be a practice. It has to happen over time. You can't just be like, oh shit, you know what, dude? I just tapped in with the universe first try. But I think the psychic abilities thing blows the doors off of some shit, because for years and years and years, Hollywood's made fun of it. It's been, just a paranormal. It's been, fringe type shit, witchcraft.
Yeah, voodoo.
Right. So, I don't know. To me, I feel like I want to believe. I want to fucking believe. And I believe the video. The video looks great. I thought it was an excellent video.
Yeah, people are they're upset. I mean, I went into it, just people that watched the episode, and the video of the crash retrieval.
About to say we had a great episode.
No, I thought it was amazing. Yeah, regardless. But it was like you said earlier. It was more about what was said in there than video or evidence or whatever. Like there was a lot of gems in there, and that's how I went into it. I didn't think we were gonna see like aliens laying on the ground. Like at this point, I don't think people are gonna believe shit, regardless.
It's hard.
It's
Yeah.
hard, man, with so much shit, information, disinformation. Who do you trust? You don't want to fuck with the government, but you kind of need the government to make official stamp on it. But as far as like videos, man, I just think there's enough videos out there that are real as fuck, just by everyday people. Like, just take a roll around the internet. If anyone want to see some real shit, you can find it.
Or take your ass outside and look up towards the sky, because don't get it twisted. It's not going to happen often, but the more you're looking at the sky, the more of the chances you have of catching something, like seeing something unexplainable in a sense. We talked about this not too long ago about how everybody, like, you just don't, it's in human nature to be like, oh shit, I'm late for work. Damn, I gotta hit Dunkin' on the way. Shit. You know what I mean? This asshole's driving crazy. Like, you don't get the chance to actually look up and sit there and chill, man. Go camping, take a vacay, go see something cool, go to the, out here we have the Adirondack Mountains. So when we travel north, and you could, you can attest to this, Irv, was like, it's some of the most beautiful skies you'll ever see, ever. Milky Way shit.
It really but you gotta get out there. You gotta get out and look up. Yeah, man, I'm looking up constantly, constantly. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Show that shit.
Yeah, and it all happens at the right time too. When some people aren't ready for it. Some people, and I feel like that's a frequency thing too. Is that, are these things showing themselves to people that are vibrating at a different frequency? Everybody's still stuck in the matrix, bro. If you can't see outside the matrix, why would you see one of those?
Yeah, you gotta be quiet. Like, even when I was doing C5 at camp, like, I saw a bright ass light in a tree, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm looking around, like looking behind the tree, like, no, maybe that's the moon. Like, to this day, like, I don't have an explanation for it, but still my brain's like, fuck it, it didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, maybe my mind's playing tricks on me type of deal. You know what I mean? But shit was there, you know what I mean? But I still explain it away. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. It really is hard, because as much as, and we're fucking weirdo conspiracy weirdos, that's like, we want to see it. Like, we want it. It's like, it's not like a, pure happenstance. We're looking for it. You know what I mean? So when you're looking, it kind of avoids you.
Yeah. It's hard because you also know, like, you're not really seeing shit. It's your brain generating the image anyway. So it's like, could a light appear in a tree just created by my brain? Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing outside of us happening. You know what I mean? We're lights hitting our eyes, and our brain's like, oh, that's this. This is this beautiful picture here.
Yeah, it's all signals.
Signals and waves, bro. Like,
well, it's data. So it just struck me as you were saying that, Irv, is that, imagine that this thing comes in, right? And now you have to download it to be able to see it. It's like, okay, this data's got to mesh with this data, this hard drive, and if it doesn't, you don't see it.
Yeah, and plus your brain's gonna auto correct that shit. Like, no, this wave pattern is not supposed to be here. You know what I
Doesn't make
mean?
sense.
Like, close that shit off real quick. That's why I think the meditation is where it's at, because you get the waves going, bro, and open to that receiving.
Exactly. And you're not, again, you're just kind of taking the power away from yourself and putting yourself into a meditative state and just allowing the universe to flow through you. Because we, a lot, like you said earlier, our sensories, our brains autocorrect that shit. So it's like, oh, wait, no, dude, you're trying to meditate. Oh, here's that fucking song from Saved by the Bell from fucking 30 years ago. You know,
Yeah, yeah. You'd be like, did I turn the stove off? Like,
fucking smell
some
gas
random
too.
ass shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, my shoulder hurt, bro. Like, no,
Yeah.
I downloaded a meditation app. It helps you meditate, and it's like it starts you off with like 10 seconds, and you just try to get longer and longer meditations. And it's like, ignore the thoughts that come. They're just gonna come in and just bombard you everything, because
Yeah.
our brains are always working like that. But like you said, with the rat race, man, we're all trying to survive. Got drama, got obstacles we got to overcome, got shit in the world, families. Like, it's wild, man. That's why nature is like one of the greatest escapes for me. I know you as well. Um, just where you really find your peace. That's where we belong, man. We belong in nature.
We really do. And the closer you get to it, the more grounded you feel. And I absolutely adore nature. Like I just like love being like all spring, all summer. I fucking hate the winter. I'll go out sometimes in the woods in the winter, but I really hate being out there. But it's you feel connected to Gaia, man, to Mother Earth. Like, and it's
Yeah.
and it's a different vibration when you can just unpack, leave the cell phone in the book bag, bro. Unless you see a really cool mushroom that you got to take a picture of and then send to me. That's like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
but put it away, get out there and just live, man. I try to take my kids too, because it's like you guys grew up in the age of having this constant technology. Get out there, put it down. There's a life outside of the phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's really hard up here in the wintertime, like you said, like getting out, like, so we got a short season, so I try to take as much advantage of it, spring and summer. Fall too. Fall's nice. To get out there and experience, man. Get back to our roots.
Yeah, and again, you could do a number of things. It doesn't necessarily have to be hiking or there's just all kinds of shit. Get out there, you know. Shout out to all 118 people with us tonight. That's back to back nights that we went over 100, and it's all thanks to you guys. Shout out to X for 115. One on YouTube, one on Twitch, one on Facebook. I can't see Rumble, but shout out to you guys too. We don't have any on Instagram right now.
Yeah, shout out Crystal too. Always tapping in. Appreciate you.
Yep, for sure. Where are you from? I know where you're from, but you should tell everybody else where you're from. Yeah, no, it's a big deal, man, and I really feel like like there's like a shadow war going on, right? And it's like there's these cats that's like you said before, it's like good and evil, right? Now they're fighting over the tough books, like because they could take that information and sell it, or take that information and give it to China. They could there's just like so many different factors that could be playing into this, and people are getting killed, like literally getting killed over this.
Yeah, it's a serious area, man, that this UFO shit is in. But we got an inauguration coming up, and we should be getting some new information, some declassified information from Trump.
Yeah. So what were you saying about that? So you were saying that he had planned to come out the Wednesday after, so it'd be this Wednesday coming up, but he had talked about releasing or telling everyone what the drones were down in New Jersey.
Yes, he said give him a day on. Yeah, he said give him a day on that one. So Tuesday the 21st. He should be giving the information on the drones over Jersey, over Chicago, over California, Florida, wherever they are now. They're all over the country, or the world, really. He's like, he should be dropping that. So that'll be a good indicator, too, because he already said it. And if he already knows, or does he got to get a classified briefing on it, and then maybe he can't tell us. So
Right.
We'll see if but this is his last time running, so last time being president, so maybe he's got the FU button in his hand.
Well, it could be, and I would love it for it to be, because I would love for a lot of this shit to drop, especially the shit we were talking about earlier with the JFK files and the Martin Luther King files. It's long overdue, and shout out to Crystal. She's from the dirty South.
Dirty.
But I feel like all of these people that were ever involved in the MLK thing or the JFK thing, they're all gone. Everybody's dead. There's no reason now other than your very real concern that people are going to lose all faith. Like, we already done lost most of it, but all faith in the government. It has to be like that extreme that they still wouldn't let this information come out.
Or it still shows how they still operate today. Maybe they'll give away secrets on some strange deaths that may happen out here.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I feel like it's a classic thing. But if you look at it, Irv, and just take this situation with this guy, Jake Barber, and him saying that there was like gun battles when his team showed up, there was already bullets on the ground. Like, there's warring factions. So obviously there's enough private armies to go around, or enough mercenary squads, or again, because any military dude can go and be a private contractor, I'm assuming, with the right credentials. Let's be real, right? With the right credentials. But how many people, after they leave the service, go and be private contractors? And then what are they doing? They're on teams in fucking, where was it with Blackwater, dude? That fucking over there, I can't remember. It's one of the squares, dude, but a bunch of civilians ended up getting killed, and Blackwater was responsible for. I think Trump pardoned him.
Iraq,
right?
Yeah, Iraq. I think it happened in a lot of areas, man. Not to say, but there's Afghanistan shit happen, Iraq, Syria. But if you're a killer, man, and you're over there killing,
that's what you do.
You're not coming home driving a forklift.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's just again, but that now you have all of these people that are on these like special forces, black ops, fucking off the books too. And let's be real here. This has nothing to do with the government.
No.
Like nothing. Like if like don't get it twisted. If you work for like a Raytheon or Lockheed Martin or Skunk Works or wherever like that, you might have like a security clearance.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that don't mean you can just put hit teams together and it's like use lethal force type shit.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like these companies, these private contractors own Congress and the Senate. You know what I mean? Like the military industrial complex, so it's like you're not going to do anything about this. You know what I mean? So I know there's definitely been shit that happened in our country alone.
Well, they have interests, so a lot of these politicians have interests, and you can always tell who's got a BlackRock guy around or who's got this person around or that person around that's connected to these giant, huge corporations that have interests in selling weapons or having this technology that a Panasonic Tough book would provide. Because if you could have that information, then guess what? It levels the playing field. Yeah. I feel like that was an excellent display of what could be, I think as more information comes out on the UFO front, did the other guys come out today?
No. They didn't drop. They didn't drop today.
Yeah, they might be waiting. I would wait after that.
It's like, yeah,
Really?
I'd wait too, bro.
If my story wasn't as big as that, like say if I'm just like another guy that just like, like I'm indirect, like I wasn't even there, but I know.
Yeah.
I'd be like, dude, you should have ran me 2 weeks ago. Fuck is wrong with you? Like this is
not now. And Cold Heart is dope interviewer. He's good.
Yeah. Oh, crushed it, bro. Like some of the shit, even the questions he was asking and some of the narrative he was putting into that, you can tell why it took a year of like them putting that together and then that being the final product. But I got to imagine it did numbers too.
Yeah, Russ just said Ross. I always call him Russ and shit. Ross, Cold Heart, UAP community is not taking egg disclosure seriously enough, and stop treating this like entertainment. People want hard evidence and not sensationalism.
And who's this? That's Ross?
Yeah. All right, so today's backlash.
You know what, though? Ross, for me, you kind of stuck your own fucking foot in your mouth. You put the shit behind a paywall. If this was something that was genuine and true and the people should have it, like, no, you would have put that shit out on X and ran it. Just go. Let it do numbers. You already know. Listen, that kind of subscribership or that's like the Super Bowl. You throw that shit out there, bro, X community is going to go nuts. They're going to fucking tap right into that shit. And you're going to get your numbers. But you had to go and put it behind a paywall. So, all right, dude. So you created a bunch of sensationalism.
Sensationalism, yeah.
And then sold it. The fuck are you even talking about?
Yeah, that shit had me tight. Yeah, because it's so important. Like we touched on it last night. It should be free, bro. Like it's basically pay-per-view if you don't have.
It should be what
cable box, I guess.
it should be like what the House committee does. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yep.
Like, just have a website where everybody can access it, and whoever wants to be there taps in, and that's what it is. Because when you make people pay for it, how many people do you think couldn't pay for it that will never know, and they'll see it in 2 weeks? Excuse me. They'll see it in a month, because that's how some of this shit trickles out, man. It's just like, we could post something today. We got a video right now that's going crazy on TikTok that I posted 2 weeks ago. That's just running up numbers now. And it's like, but it's just now getting to people. So, but you exclude a lot of people. You marginalize a lot of people and get, how many people have been online and it's like, oh, continue this article, subscribe for $10. Yo, I immediately leave the article and go find a new one.
Yeah. No. It's disgusting, bro. Paywalls are for the birds.
And for information, bro.
Yeah, information. Be like, oh, I want to catch this news story. Nah. $3.99.
Yep. Yeah, so I feel like with that post, man, he probably should have just fell back a little bit on that. But what kind of criticism are they getting?
Strangely enough, nothing about the paywall, but about the video. It wasn't long enough. There wasn't context on what happened before, what happened. Like,
bro, they're gonna roll an alien out here soon, and nobody's gonna believe it.
I know, they've been showing some crazy shit.
This alien could have its probe up your ass, and nobody's gonna believe it these days.
I think that's the point, though. You just erode everything, and it's like, shit's not true.
Yeah. You ever seen that movie Bright with Will Smith?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh, bro, you got to check it out, man. It's like LA in the future, right? And Will Smith's a cop, but he's got an orc partner. Mm-hmm. So like, there's elves and there's orcs and there's fairies. Yes. And there's like, you know, and it's funny because, like you said, you almost erode every sense of what's real and what's not. And yeah, I guess if there's some fucking shapeshifter walking down the street, I guess you really wouldn't really give a fuck. You'd be like, it's another day in Troy, New York.
Yeah. And then with AI now, everybody's like, is it AI? Might be AI. Like, real credible shit, but it's like, then you got to run AI to figure out if the video is not AI or not. Another AI to see if that AI was just lying to you. It's like, it's crazy, man.
What a pain in the ass.
Just information. I think the puzzle pieces, though, you just got to keep stacking those pieces and building your own story.
No, you really do, because you have to. There's bits of truth in everything, and and that's kind of why I said it before the episode yesterday, was like the controlled opposition shit. Is it's like, no, somebody is allowing you to go forward with this information. There is also someone that is trying to kill you for it. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, so to me, it's like, okay, yeah, you were allowed to do it to some degree. But I feel like the video, in my opinion, I mean, other than, you know, I could probably recreate that video in the living room with a piece of string and an egg. Like, I thought it was pretty good. In terms of like UAPs and shit that we've been seeing these orb or egg shaped UAPs forever. So to finally see one, and it's like, oh, okay. He described it as pearly, bright white. No signs of propulsion. No motor, no bullshit, no wings, no nothing. Perfect. No
Maybe
seams.
they wanted to see it flying around more. Yeah, the white egg is crazy.
Yeah, well, what's insane is if they can actually connect to these things, like say they're down in a MERV, like you said earlier, they're downing them and then scooping a shit ton of them up and then psionically taking control of them. And now you got a little egg army, bro.
You would have a little egg army.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if they were probes, like probes sent here, and their creators aren't here, could be possible too. Like, just snatch them up now when they come back. It's so fascinating, man.
Yeah, it's like a lot of it doesn't make sense. Because if there's nothing piloting that thing, then obviously, like you said, it'd be like some drone, droid, maybe reconnaissance, maybe who knows? You know, it's just not piloted, so it's not like they're taking little green men out of them. It's like they're consciously flying them. So obviously, it's able to interface with us, which is which now that I'm thinking about it, it was like some of the thoughts behind the TR3B as well is that you put your hands in the shit and it was all telepathic. Like it just moved where you wanted it to move, you know? But it's again, I want to know whose they are, who would even allow that. Like, and then okay, the egg, the egg gone had some love and light, but the egg just got radiation. Like, what's going on here? But that could be another thing, though, is if we look at it and we analyze it and say the egg has radiation, right? We're also having these dudes scoop up mystery black boxes. Who's to say that the eggs and shit like that aren't ours, reverse engineered, and we're still dealing with radiation? We're still dealing with nuclear energy that's powering these things. Also, just dawned on me, Enron just released a nuclear fucking egg.
I was just putting that shit out. Yeah. Yeah. It was a joke. It was definitely supposed to be.
Look at this fucking thing. Jesus. We got these things. They're flying, bro.
That was a week before this dropped, so which isn't funny for this Enron shit, because they lost people's wealth and shit. So it's like
they got fleeced by that one company, right? The McKinnon company or whatever it is. We'd have to jump to that whole shit again. But yeah, look at this thing. It's an egg. It runs on it allegedly could power your house for something like 10 years or something like that at a rip.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if we can do that.
And it's portable.
And portable too, right? You could bring it wherever you want.
Wherever.
But imagine the shit, you know, it just was weird to me because I kept coming back to the Enron shit. Not to mention, homie's got the main egghead.
Oh, that's the guy, right? Who unveils it.
Yeah, let's just watch a little bit of it.
Oh, it's because of parody.
The independence industry and the freedom industry. This product is going to revolutionize all three. Are you getting it? Ladies and gentlemen, we have harnessed the power of the atom. Introducing the Enron egg, the world's first micronuclear reactor for residential suburban use. This little device can power your entire home for up to 10 continuous years. It goes without saying, but when you put a nuclear reactor in your home, it's got to be safe for the whole family. I've been living with an egg for a few months now. I can just tell you that my little ones, they freaking love it, especially when what we save on the energy bill, we can spend on Christmas presents. Do your kids hate camping as much as mine? Well, let's just say,
three arms.
Because for the first time in history, you can bring the comfort of your living room out into the world. Playing the newest game from your favorite console under the stars is just a whole other experience. But here at Enron, we care about the intersection of technology and nature, which is why I'm proud to announce that Enron has teamed up with FEMA to provide nuclear eggs to rapid response teams all around the globe. All of this made possible by the Enron Mining Division, which has been sourcing the proprietary enronium ore, which I think you'll agree has unlocked a new atomic age. Because that's what it's all about, folks. Making the world a better place, one egg at a time. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to our Chief Technology Officer.
Yeah. So, again, nuclear-powered egg.
It's a week before, bro.
To me, it just feels like maybe that tech is coming quick. It's like it's out there now, and maybe that egg doesn't have a nuclear energy purposed to fly or, whatever, but it would kind of make sense if that was our reverse engineered tech and we were still using nuclear fusion or nuclear radiation to move them, propel them, whatever is happening. And maybe the extraterrestrials are like, "Oh, bro, you guys are fucking up." Like, everybody's getting sick and dying, dude. Like, what are you guys even doing?
What are you doing, man? What on some energy shit, man? Like, the shit's tied to energy.
Yeah. Well, look at that though. If Enron can make a nuclear powered egg that can sustain your home for 10 continuous years, what do you think they're fucking doing with that nuclear tech? Because think about it, like any other nuclear radiation, this guy just said it. He was on a 150-foot long line and got radiation poisoning. Yeah. So the egg's got to put off something. And you're going to be just putting that shit in the camper, throw it in the backpack. Hey, kids, plug your phone into the nuclear.
To the nuclear egg.
To the nuke.
It's like, especially my baby.
Then it ends up like fucking Tesla batteries in the beginning. Oh my God.
Oh man, that would be crazy.
Yeah, it'd be little tiny nuclear explosions everywhere. Yeah, that's interesting. And the week before all of this shit comes out, apparently these eggs.
Games.
Yeah, that's just wild, man. We're up to 122 people, 119 on X. We got one on the Tube, one on Twitch, one on Facebook, and we have 0 on IG right now, but I can't see Rumble either. Shout out to you guys as well. Thanks for tapping in on this Sunday night, guys. We're going to be streaming the inauguration as well tomorrow. Tap in with us if you got time. We'll try to jump in a little early, get a little pool going.
Tomorrow's the day.
New president, bro.
Sleepy Joe on the outs. You take some naps though now. My man was old, man. Do you see that Speaker Johnson said that when he met with Joe Biden, the CIA had to be there?
What?
Yeah.
Why?
They were signing the executive orders.
Shut up. Well, what executive orders did he drop, or are they not out yet?
Oh no, he dropped a ton of them in his last months.
Ooh,
He
I'm gonna have
did
to
oil ban, new oil drilling and shit all over the place. He did a bunch of weird shit to handcuff Trump from opening stuff up. But yeah, Trump said he's gonna revisit all of those executive orders because he's saying he didn't even know. We knew, everybody knows that. But
it's gonna be simple enough for him to reverse them, but it goes to show you that, like, in the final days, who at least this president is with the CIA. He's saying, "Yo, look, the CIA's got. Oh, we need you to sign this one. Need you to sign this one. Oh, okay. Let's get your old John Hank. Oh, okay. Come on, Uncle Joe. Come on, stay awake. We'll get you some applesauce in a minute." And really put into motion a lot of things that shouldn't be happening anyway.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. I was like, what?
Yeah. No bueno, man. Well, again, tomorrow is the day we have a new president, Donald J. Trump, again. And Irv and I made the prediction earlier on the phone that when he's gone, it's going to go to JD. And then JD's going to hold the fort down till Barron's old enough to run for to run for president.
The adventures of Barron Trump.
You think they would? You think? Oh, they can't run Melania, can they?
No.
Yeah, it's not.
But he's got Don Jr. and Eric
Kirshner, right? What's his face? Kushner.
Yeah. Kushner.
Yeah, I just think the Republican Party, after he's done, has to kind of continue that. Like, they'll take MAGA and transform it into something, you know what I mean, that suits them,
Yeah, make it more. They got to keep it going now because it worked. It worked for them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you have to. And now he comes out and fucking essentially is playing hero on TikTok.
Yeah, some Democrats were tight as fuck about that. They're like, you let him get that? You let him get that victory? Like, that was easy. Go ahead, ban that shit. Let it go too. Let the message come up, create anxiety, and then TikTok put his name on the message.
Yeah.
Thanks to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And working closely with his office.
Apparently, all he can really do is give them like an extension. So, like, from what I heard was that, or read, excuse me, because he didn't call me. But from what I read,
Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, well, from what I read, his homeboy can only really issue like an extension. So what he'll do is he'll give like a 90-day extension for them to sell off the company. And there's been all kinds of shit floating around from like Mr. Beast to Zuckerberg. They already think Meta bought it because there's a thoughts box now on TikTok.
Really?
People are
Could be
speculating.
Zuckerberg's play. Yeah.
People are speculating, because there is, when it came back online, there was a thoughts box, and that's like big on Instagram and Facebook. So, but they don't know. We'll see what happens. Like, there was a lot of billionaires that were talking about scooping it. But I also did hear, and again, I don't know how true this is. We'll have to look it up about Trump. But allegedly Trump had said, and again, we'll have to fact check this, but apparently whoever would buy TikTok would have to be in a 50-50 agreement with the U.S. government. Is what I heard. So, like, the government would own half of TikTok, which I don't like at all. Like, I would be like, yo, keep that shit private. Get the government right up out of there.
Get them right up out of there. Let's see. Find their board developers.
$125 with us right now on this Sunday evening. Oh, wait, we're in the fucking Monday now.
Oh, we're into Monday. Just crossed over, huh?
Yeah. You guys got the day off. What's going on out there?
Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah, I would hope he releases those files, man. That'd be, it should be done. Should have been done by now. JFK, MLK. Shit, fuck them. Release it all.
RFK.
Just drop everything.
Every conspiracy. All at once, right? I agree. Just rapid fire. Hold that. Oh, yeah, and they dropped the Melania coin, too.
Stop it. All right. So, yeah, that was another thing we were going to touch on is the Trump coin. What's going on with the Trump coin, Irv? What is it? What happened?
So it launched on the 17th. Yeah, it launched on the 17th of Trump posted on Truth Social. He posted on Truth Social. This is their currently sitting at $56.96. But it's crazy. So I don't know if you guys see it, but right now the market cap is at 11.5 billion.
Jesus.
24-hour volume of $44 billion, which it took out like every meme coin that's been in existence. Right now, people, if you look on the top right, like 44% of the people are feeling positive about it, and 56% of the people are bullish on it, bearish on it, because it dropped by $10 today. And so people are kind of upset.
It's a big move down.
It's a big move down. There's a total of 1 billion tokens, but he only released 200 million, and then the other 800 million are locked for 3 years. So that creates value, limited supply. And then Melania dropped today. And I've been watching, man, because obviously I'm trying to catch a wave, you know me, bro. Um,
Bro, we're about to scoop some podcast about that to scoop some.
yeah, yeah. Melania Drums, she's in the billions as well, which is completely batshit crazy. And she tweeted about it. Well, she's at 1.5 billion market cap. And normally with these tokens, like it takes some time, you know what I mean? It takes, maybe some shit goes up like this every now and then, maybe once a year, but normally it takes 3 months to a year for these tokens to really shoot
Get
up.
going.
These two coins generated hundreds, maybe even thousands of millionaires overnight this weekend. Cats, hundreds of thousands people woke up with in their wallets. Yeah, and her 24-hour volumes, basically the volume is what people are spending, buy, sell, and trade. So she's doing 2.7 billion on her own, man. And
Bro, we might have to get in on this before it gets too crazy.
I know. Melania's actually not bad. The Trump one is, I feel, is a little high right now. But I think a Baron's coming out. I think USA coin's coming out at some point too.
So you got to get them like immediately as they drop.
You got to get them. Like Trump one, it came out at like 300 million. It was like $7 maybe. So you go in really early, but it's just printing money basically.
Look, Melania just moved to 10. She was up 20 cents.
20 cents up to 10.
Back down 8.
People are super hyped trying to get in on these, but I've never seen anything like this. This is historic. A president's wife launching meme tokens in their name.
Bro, imagine if this was the greatest rug pull ever. Oh my god.
Bro.
Hawk tour. Fuck. No, that's
you can't get in trouble now, though. You know what I mean? He's got the ultimate immunity, but you can't start off with a rug pull. But a lot of times you're trusting these crypto cats to do shit for you. You know what I mean?
I think in this case, where he's at, because I know there was 2 different companies that they were set up in his LLCs. Like there was like Fight was one of the LLCs, and then so there was a different LLC that did it too. But yeah, that's kind of the part that's always kind of confused me is like in his case, would it be vetted by like these other cats? Would it be vetted by his team, like the Secret Service type shit? Like, yeah, these are good cats, like these are good people doing this shit, or or are you just hiring some third party fucking coder or something like to create this shit?
No, because his crypto czar's on point. The dude he's putting in, I think he's going into Treasury too, if I'm not mistaken. But he launched the Trump token at the crypto party on Friday night. So like crypto investors funded millions of dollars into his campaign. So he wanted to say thank you. So he threw them a party Friday night in DC. And at the party the token launched. And like these are multi-millionaire dudes. Like they're in on everything that launches. They missed the launch being at this party. It was kind of like, you guys think you're the shit, watch this. Drop this shit. By the time you're out of the event, the shit's already gone. Now you're not getting that little low entry.
Yeah.
It's just like, nah, because I've seen it on X and I'm like, oh shit, let me get over there. This shit's gonna be huge. The time I got there, it was already up 10,000%, like crazy.
Yeah. Right. So you couldn't get it at the right. Like again, yeah. If you catch a wave and wake up with 100K, yeah, sweet.
Yeah,
You know, but
absolutely.
you got to be able to get them for like literal quarters of the penny on a dollar.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. You had to get in. You had to get in, or know the dude who launched it for him. Like, yeah, I'm about to launch this shit. Get up in here.
Oh, don't get it twisted. Trump most definitely probably said to a lot of the people, like, yo, hey, look, come grab some of this, and then we're gonna let some out for the people just because it's cool. But then, obviously he's got an ecosystem set up as well to where more tokens come out. They're more accessible. And then I believe also they start like, I don't want to say getting rid of them at some point too, right?
They did. Someone sold like 30 million worth of Trump token. There's some private wallets. They set up a website. It looks like they're gonna be doing this more and more. But they just printed 40 billion. Well, it ran up to 100 billion, right? So they printed 100 billion this weekend. But as they tie it to like dollars and shit, like if you're launching these tokens or USA token, like you send US citizens 10,000 tokens a piece of something and the shit skyrockets. Everybody's got a stimulus without raising the debt whatsoever.
Right.
And I've always been a proponent of like, that's how crypto should be used. It should be like, yo, let's make this shit happen.
Everybody comes up.
Everybody comes up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not impossible to do that. You just have those whales that fucking, it's the secondary market is like the worst market ever, because like people go and buy them the fuck up. It's same thing with any game like that. Sneakers, fuck anything of value. It's like anything of value, you're gonna go and scoop up and then flip it at a cost, at a profit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's the American dream.
Right?
Shit. Yeah, man. But in any event, we'll see how things go. Again, we have a huge day tomorrow. What time's the action, Irv?
12 p.m. Eastern. Inauguration starts. So yeah, we'll be here. Tap in with us.
Yeah, no diggity. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. If you're on X, shoot over to the YouTube. Help us get to 500. We're getting close. We appreciate you guys tapping in consistently with us. We love you guys. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, give us a share, and we catch you guys next time. Peace.
Peace out.